Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently following nicely the bullish scenario that currently has a higher probability. As I said before, 60% in favor of the bullish scenario. We're talking here about probabilities, and 40% still for a bearish scenario. That will change above 25.5K and above 29.5K when we finally have reached wave 3. We can then adjust probabilities slightly further in favor of a bullish scenario. So we still have a few things to talk about here. We are currently still caught in this possible bear flag. You could argue, depending on how you draw this, you could argue we broke out of it. Yeah, so we're going to zoom in a minute and have a look at it. In this so possible bear flag, we had a fake out and we're currently at resistance. And this is of course a critical point now. But of course it's a critical point not only because of the ascending trend line, but because of this resistance area here that I've been calling out for weeks now, and that we really need to get substantially above, which means we need to get above it, retest it, and then move higher. So far we have failed to do so. Okay, and if we get above this level, we have a good chance to move up to 25.5 to 26K, and then in the next move to 29.5K. So this is absolutely possible. I know it sounds crazy, the same way as a 20K Bitcoin sounded crazy back in November when I told you that we probably will go into this region, yeah, with a very high likelihood. And I only had one bearish scenario back then. I didn't have a bullish one. So for the last 7 months, we've been waiting for this area to be reached. Now I'm telling you, the bear market could be over. Yeah, it could be over. There is currently no guarantee. That is why the probabilities are not far away from each other. Yes, 60-40, it's not 90-10. But to many people, it still sounds crazy that we could go up from here. Interest rates, everybody expected a drop. I think this is again proof, that's absolute proof that news do not have the expected effect. Yeah, everybody in the comments was like, not everybody, I know a lot of viewers understand how it's working, but a lot of people still, when I talked about an uptrend, yeah, as soon as this correction here is over, a beginning of an uptrend, everybody was like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. The Fed rate, negative news next week, prices will drop further and so on. But why? Everybody expected a 75 basis point increase anyway, so it was priced in. I mean, that the 75 basis points were priced in was pretty clear. It could have had a negative impact had the Fed raised it to 100, but even some of that would have probably been priced in. So again, news oftentimes do not have the effect that many people expect, and I often get the question, why do you not factor in news? Well, basically, because it doesn't make any sense. The Elliott Wave analysis here showed us that the WXY pattern with a high likelihood will be finished at 20.7K, because the wave Y has the same length as the wave W. So we found support here, we touched it with the accuracy of a few dollars, and we reversed. I told you if we break out of the descending channel, there's a good chance to go up from here. Next breakout point was here, we broke above that. You can see what kind of effect that had into the next resistance area where we're consolidating again. We don't need news for that. Yeah? News don't give us anything. In World War II, yeah, in the second half of World War II, markets recovered massively throughout interest rate increase periods. Most of the time, I would say in 80% of cases, the S&P 500 increased. Okay, so why wouldn't Bitcoin increase as well in an environment where interest rates are increased? It doesn't make any sense. So therefore, yeah, of course, you know, there is a pressure on the market and there is a lot of uncertainty, but nothing is stopping Bitcoin from getting back into an uptrend, especially because markets are forward-looking. They are forward-looking. It's not that when you read the news in your local newspaper that the recession is over, that is when you start to invest, because that is usually when the markets have already done a 200, 300, maybe 400%. No. The uptrend is starting way before you read the positive news in the newspaper. Okay, way before. Markets are forward-looking. Financial markets are far too efficient for that, okay? So it's not that you wait for the headlines in your local newspaper that you get the go-ahead that markets will recover. It's not how it works, okay? So we need to wait for the signals in the charts. We don't need news, because news emerge out of what is happening in the charts. If markets go up, people will try to justify it with news. For example, price moved up. People are now saying, all right, the 75 basis points, that was priced in already. Yeah, everybody knew that. Had prices gone down, people would have said, yeah, so of course, negative news of the Fed interest rate increase, that led to the drop. It doesn't make any sense. News don't give you price targets. They are even more speculative and subjective than technical analysis. Okay, so where are we now? Let's look at the wave count, because the intro was far too long. So we've done a 1, a 2 here. So we've done an impulsive wave 1, we've done a corrective wave 2. We are now here in the wave 3 in pink. That should take us above 30K. If it plays out like that, that's always important. We need to wait for certain conditions to be met. I can't tell you if we will get there. I can only tell you how it needs to look like in a bullish breakout scenario, and then we can calculate the targets. So here in the wave 3, then we've done a wave 1, we've come down in a wave 2, we are now in the wave 3. After a wave 2, you expect the wave 3 to the upside, most reasonably. That wave 3 should take us, you can just calculate the target for that again with the Fibonacci extensions. That wave 3 should take us to around about 29.5K. Okay, the 1.618 extension. So this is where we need to get to in a bullish breakout scenario. If Bitcoin doesn't get there, what does it tell us? It will tell us that the market is still too weak, that it's struggling, that we will probably not be able to calculate an accurate target for a wave 4, because it's not adhering to the bullish breakout scenario. If on the way up now into the wave 3, we see weakness in the chart, it can indicate that this is not yet the breakout. And at the moment, we can assume it is, because I don't see a weakness in the chart here. I think that was looking pretty good. We see volume as well come in. We can count this based on the Elliott waves as well. So counting it would allow us to see this here as a wave 1, to see this here as a wave 2, would allow us to see this here as the wave 3, which makes sense because it is the longest wave. However, I'm gonna skip this. I'll put the wave 3 here. That has to do with the subwaves going on here, because you can count this again as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the subwave. So this is actually the wave 3 here. This was probably the wave 4, and this is the wave 5. However, there is currently no evidence that wave 5 is finished, so there is short-term more upside in here. There is currently no evidence it's complete. What is best evidence that wave 5 is complete? It would be a drop below 22.7K again. If we drop below 22.7K, we are probably going to see, then we could see this. Then we could see, come on, there you go. Then we see this as a wave 1. But again, there's no evidence it's complete yet. A move above 23.4K would indicate we go higher. But if we are complete and if we drop below that 22.7K level, then we expect a wave 2 retracement in an ABC correction. Similar situation to the ADA chart that I just recorded the video on. And again, what are we looking out for here in terms of the retracements? Let's say this is complete. Again, it could also go higher. At the moment, there is no evidence it's complete. But if we go, let's say, below 22.7K, then we expect a move down into the region between, ideally, depending on how bullish we are. So if we are very bullish, it will already be enough to reach the 22.4K target. So watch for an entry point here. But more likely, 22,080 to 21,759. Anyway, here with a higher likelihood in the lower half. Yeah, ABC, and then starting with a wave 3. So this is obviously the subwave, but this is probably what most people are interested in. Always bear in mind those subwaves are highly fragile. but it can be counted, especially as the wave 3 is very long. And at the moment we are waiting for a signal if wave 5 here is complete or if we go a little bit higher. But a wave 1 finish is there soon, and the wave 2 correction will start soon. Alright, and that's my view about Bitcoin at the moment. So hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership, and please also make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.